I was meant to find you, wasn't I?
Spoiler alert, although Tom's abilities have long been a mystery, a theory that may be able to explain everything has been inspired by the Lord of the Rings of Power. Far from his canonical home in the Old Forest, the stranger ran into Old Tom in Season 2, Episode 4 of the Prime Video series. Bombadil would have never shown up in Rhûn's barren wasteland. But Rings of Power has given the character a slight twist. Nevertheless, there are a few similarities between Tom's homes in Rhûn and Windle, one of which might provide away something about the nature of his abilities. The stranger got himself into a bit of a dilemma in the Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 4, when he discovered Tom Bombadil's home and found himself being drawn up into the trunk of a neighboring tree. Luckily, Old Tom saved the day, as the tree spewed the stranger back out after hearing only one syllable from this enigmatic creature. Bombadil dubbed the tree Old Man Ironwood and informed the stranger that if he had just inquired politely, the tree could have handed up one of its limbs instead of attacking. Though not much else was revealed about the tree, this was a pretty important point in Rings of Power's canon character introduction. Welcome to Movie Spy. The second season of The Tree in the Rings of Power is like Old Man Willow in Tolkien's book debut of Tom Bombadil's Rings of Power repeated. Since this is nearly exactly what happened to Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin in the book The Fellowship of the Ring, the stranger being swallowed by Old Man Ironwood was a thrilling moment. Tom Bombadil made his first appearance while the hobbits were being swallowed up by a willow tree while journeying through the odd forest. He referred to the tree as Old Man Willow and kindly asked it to release the hobbits. The tree followed orders, just like in Rings of Power. It is obvious that Tom Bombadil's successful rescue of the stranger from Old Man Ironwood is a nod to Old Man Willow in the Fellowship of the Ring. There were numerous allusions to the hobbits' trek through the Old Forest in the Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 4, including between Bombadil, the cunning tree, and the Barrow Wights that Galadriel and her elite party of elves encountered. Even if these allusions were entertaining, there may be more to this tree in Rings of Power than meets the eye. The Old Man trees of Middle-earth may be the source of Tom Bombadil's power. In Rhûn, Old Man Ironwood could hold the secret to Bombadil's powers. It is strongly hinted in The Lord of the Rings that Tom Bombadil was limited to using his power in the Old Forest. Gandalf said that this was the being's domain, and that anything that occurred outside of it did not really concern him. Rings of Power Season 2 has delved into the canonical information that Old Tom had indeed wandered Middle-earth for a while. However, it has never been totally apparent what this meant for the character's power. Bombadil is in Rhûn according to Prime Video, and he obviously possesses a lot of magic. Old Man Ironwood might be the source of Tom Bombadil's power in Season 2 of the Rings of Power. This tree and Old Man Willow are definitely siblings because of the way both nature spirits greet newcomers. It is possible that the brother in Rhûn and his friend in the Old Forest are connected invisibly, giving Tom Bombadil access to magic. If these trees were to become commonplace in Middle-earth and Bombadil were one of the only people who knew how to use them, that would definitely be the taste of Tolkien's writing. Alternatively, maybe Old Tom is the one planting or making the enchanted Old Man trees. An Old Tom Bombadil theory is supported by the trees in the Rings of Power. The Rings of Power are based on a theory about what Tom Bombadil is. There is another hypothesis about Tom Bombadil from The Lord of the Rings that is based on the idea that trees like Old Man Willow or Old Man Ironwood are the source or conduit of his power. The true nature of Old Tom has never been disclosed, and Tolkien himself never agreed to provide a more conclusive explanation than what his works had already done. There is a widely held belief, though, that Bombadil represents Middle-earth physically akin to an earlier version of Father Nature. This would account for his lack of moral conviction and his voice-only authority over the trees, streams, and animals. If this is the case, it would seem reasonable that Tom Bombadil would like to live close to an old man tree in Rhûn. This area was supposedly once lush and lovely, but it was reduced to a barren wasteland during the Second Age. Since there is not much of the natural world left, Tom's abilities may be restricted. But a tree such as Old Man Ironwood would guarantee that Tom Bombadil can stay in Rhûn long enough to impart stranger magic knowledge and disclose the Istar's fate. Of course, the Rings of Power Season 2 will reveal the truth eventually. Thanks for watching.